A critical Game 4 coming your way in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Thanks for joining us for postseason basketball on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Orlando Magic going up against the Detroit Pistons. Here alongside Tim Legler and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson with Ali LaForce joining us courtside. Into this game, hoping to take a commanding lead.
This is indeed their best chance to take control of this series. It should be an intense game.
Now here's Harris. Detroit moving the ball around. Cunningham outside. Durant with a screen on Suggs. Shot clock at 5. And the layup is good off the glass.
And getting up close and personal, Cunningham knows he can get his shot to go inside.
Carter, a screen on Harris. Harris against Banchero. Wagner outside. Orlando needs to get off a shot here. The three-pointer off the mark. Let's check in with our reporter, Ali LaForce.
I had a chance to catch up with Jamal Mosley. Much of our discussion centered around Cade Cunningham. He said that's their catalyst. They look to him to control the pace, to read the defense, and to make the right basketball play, which he usually does. He is very tough to neutralize. Guys, back to you.
Coming up next, the Magic taking on the Pistons. Orlando, they took care of home in Game 3 and look to take control of the series tonight. The fans are eager for another big win. Pistons, Magic, round 1 of the NBA playoffs. It's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Glad you could join us today. Here with Coach Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And patrolling the sideline for us again tonight, Allie LaForce. They have home court now. What do they need to do to take advantage of this opportunity?
And Kevin, these are the games where, I feel like you need to make big shots because the teams are close. 1 or 2 plays either way could decide this thing. That's why you have to value every possession early. And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
Cunningham against Suggs. Fires the 3. Shot's good by Durant.
Well, this is where Durant looks to score, and it's why he shoots such a high percentage.
Banchero against Harris. Stolen by Thompson. There's the lob to Durant. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
What timing on the alley-oop from Durant. That speaks to the chemistry and connection he has with his guys.
And Stan, when you think of the most athletic teams in the NBA, the Pistons have to be right up there.
Yeah, a handful of supreme athletes. And most importantly, Kevin, they use that athleticism to attack and disrupt. That's what makes the difference.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Outside Robinson. And Thompson kicks to Harris. To the paint. Here's Cunningham. Shot clock at 6. Second shot opportunity. Carter pulls it in. And so Wagner will bring it up for the Orlando Magic. 4-point game. Carter sets the pick for Wagner. Over Thompson. And it's Wagner missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And slam dunk by Harris.
How about that finish by Harris? He sees his opening and does not hesitate to rise up and be free.
Now, here's Banchero. Here's Suggs. A three-pointer off the mark. The Pistons have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Thompson, a screen on Wagner. Harris inside the line, and he drops that one in.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And over the course of his career, Tobias Harris has shown a willingness to embrace various roles.
Well, look, Kevin, Tobias Harris is not only a highly skilled player, but he is a team-oriented, win-first, veteran guy, totally unselfish, and will just figure out a way that he needs to help any team he's on get to where they want to go.
So for the Magic, De Silva's checked in, and it's Anthony Black in for Suggs. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Stolen by Thompson. Stripped it away. Up top, Wagner. He's covered by Thompson. Thompson against Wagner. Pass to De Silva. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bain with the bucket.
Well, if you overplay Bain on the perimeter, he can take you inside.
Here's Harris. Curran sets the screen for Harris. Back to Cunningham. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
Well, that's where Cunningham does his best work, from the free throw line down.
The Magic trail by 8. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Inside, it's stolen by Durant. Thompson passes to Harris, and yes, it's good.
Building up a big early lead. They have taken charge of this game.
Yeah, but you can't let up at all. They've got a chance to put this game away early, and they should take.
What's up?
A free throw off from Harris. Now, here's Bankero. Still scoreless. Here's Black. A beautiful reverse layup.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to blow off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
And we've reached the end of the first quarter. The Pistons on top. They're up by 8. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And we welcome you back to Game 4 on 2K Sports. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Well, they've set the tone early with their pace. So important to capitalize on transition opportunities, and it keeps the defense off balance.
And the other thing, I love how they're playing up tonight, getting into ball handlers and forcing some turnovers.
Bankero passes to Thompson. The Magic need to get a shot off here. That one's good, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Black. So, Stan, let me pose this question. What do you think is the most important thing to stress in youth basketball?
I think there's 2 things, Kevin, that need to be stressed in youth basketball. The first one is love the game. Make it enjoyable for guys, because, look, if kids love it and enjoy it, they'll keep playing it, they'll keep practicing it, and they'll get better. And then the second thing that goes along with that is the fundamentals. You can never do too much work on footwork, ball handling, and things like that.
And so the timeout here by J.B. Bickerstaff. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. Checked in for the Magic. Suggs comes in for Howard. Detroit also making some changes. Thompson, he's checked in for Karis LeVert. Duncan Robinson comes in for Kevin Huerter. And it's Cunningham in for Jenkins. Here's Cunningham. And this Magic team, Greg, hangs its hat on size, on switchability, and toughness.
Yeah, they contest everything and play with real discipline. For a young group, that is uncommon, and it's a big reason they've taken the lead.
Now, here's Wagner. Following the miss by Cade Cunningham. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Pass to Stewart. Now, here is Robinson. Right wing. Holland, the pass to Thompson. And stolen by Wagner. The finish rips down the breakaway slam.
Well, you got to credit the quick thinking on that play from Wagner. Seeing a chance to grab the steal and swipe it.
Now, here's Cunningham. Thompson in the corner. Down low. Stewart. That's in. Coming off the assist from Thompson. Stewart's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, this is where Stewart should look to score. He can be very effective down low.
For the Magic, De Silva's checked in, and it's Bain in for Black. And then for Detroit, Jalen Durant. He's checked in for Stewart, and Harris subbed in for Holland. Now, here's Bain. Pass to Bitadze. It's stolen by Durant. Outside Robinson. Harris looking it over, and it's good. 2 points. Harris has got 8.
A solid 6'8". Harris can more than handle his own inside. Really an overlooked part of his game.
It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Cunningham against Wagner. Durant a screen. Here's Harris. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
Here's Wagner with the 3. Another miss by Orlando. Pistons leading by 8. Harris outside. Robinson for 3. Wow, came this close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws.
Well, Robinson just knows who he is, which is a volume 3-point shooter who can help space the floor.
3 shots. 3 shots.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. And he nails the third. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. On the wing, Bain. Magic moving the ball around. Banchero against Harris. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. The Magic again can't hit. Cunningham looking it over. And so it's the Detroit Pistons going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And we'll be right back after this.
Hello and welcome. And here in Game 4, you couldn't have drawn up a better first half for the Detroit Pistons.
It's all been gravy, baby, and you know I know all the flavors of gravy. Movement, finding good looks, and shooting the ball at a high clip.
Yeah, beautiful execution at the offensive end. They're in firm control of this game from that standpoint, guys.
How many kinds of gravy are there?
There's barbecue, there's pineapple, there's
gravy.
orange.
Checking out the circumstances for the Orlando Magic. They know a win would give them a big advantage in the series and take them one step closer to a postseason upset.
It's hard not to love an underdog, and I'm not talking about our underdog. I'm talking about this underdog. EJ, check this out. No easy wins here in the postseason. They need to stay on their A game.
And the most important games are often the toughest games to close out, so we just have to wait and see what happens.
That we will. That'll do it for our show tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll send you back to Kevin Harlan for more hoops action.
And we're happy to have you back for more playoff basketball here in round one. We've seen a tremendous game from Harris.
There must be ice water in his veins. Such an important game, and he plays superb basketball in that opening half.
Yeah, kind of what you expect from a guy of his caliber. Don't be surprised if his second half is just as good.
Detroit leading by 10. Outside, Robinson. Harris outside. Cunningham outside. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin. The Pistons are improving on both ends, but particularly on defense. Cade Cunningham said, everybody is stepping up on that end and taking the challenge to the guard. We have a good system that allows us all to play our strengths. We're still hungry, though. We're not satisfied at all. Guys?
More to prove. Okay, Allie, we thank you for the report. Here's Cunningham. Jalen Suggs making his last shot. Out to Harris. 5 to shoot. To Cunningham. Off target from three-point range.
Close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
You know, Stan, when you talk about the skill set Cade Cunningham possesses, what impresses you most?
I think a couple of things, Kevin. Number one, his poise is outstanding. This guy never gets bothered by anything that happens in a game, by any type of adversity. He's just going to come back with the same mindset on the next play. And also, his shooting has improved so much that you've now got to defend him honestly on the perimeter, and that sets up the rest of his game.
Now, here's Suggs. Following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. Carter with the screen. And Carroll passes to Carter. Harris outside. Outside, Robinson. Pass to Cunningham. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Good on the three-point shot. Harris has got 13 points.
Oh, just pure from the corner. Harris doesn't pass up an opportunity from there.
Outside, Bain. And here's Carter. Now, Suggs. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. To the inside. Suggs with the steal. Thompson against Wagner. Nice move. Thompson with the rebound. Detroit leading by 9. Harris outside. Back to Thompson. Pass to Robinson. Thompson, a screen on Bain. Lobbed up there for Thompson. The shot missing.
And what should have been a simple pass and finish ends up in a missed opportunity on that alley-oop attempt.
Yeah, that just comes down to the timing being off between those two guys.
That's good from Harris on the assist by Robinson. Harris has got the lead up to 11 now for Detroit.
And it does a world of good for them to have Harris getting busy inside. Gives them that inside-out edge they're looking for.
Here's Bain. And so it's the Detroit Pistons. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. We'll get you back to the action after this break. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, that's high-level playmaking. He makes it look easy, but it's not.
NBA playoff round 1. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action on the court. Here's Suggs, and Suggs throws it down.
Get up, Jalen Suggs. This guy also a terrific football player in high school.
Stolen by Batadze. Black with it. Now defended by Cunningham. And it's Wagner missing.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
Here's Black. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Cade Cunningham. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Pistons.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
Another place they've had the upper hand tonight is in transition. They've gotten a bunch of their points off the fast break.
That free throw good from Black. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Jalen Durant, he's checked in for Stewart. Harris comes in for Holland. Thompson, he's checked in for Kevin Huerter. Robinson is subbed in for Jenkins. And Black drops them both. It's Thompson with the ball. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Harris outside. Cunningham sets a screen for Harris. Yep, that's going to go in.
And so far, Harris is having his way on offense. The defense just has not found an answer for his energy on that end.
Now, here's Bain. Now Wagner. Here's Bain. Jacks up a three. That one is off. Harris with it. Picked up by Bankero. Oh, great touch off the pass.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
Bain. Cunningham pulls it down.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
11 feet away. The basket is good.
Yeah, they need Cunningham to be effective from that mid-range area.
And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle him up right away. Suggs is checked in for Black. Here's Bain. 1:52 left in the fourth. Now Suggs. 5 on the clock. What a finesse finish on the way-in.
Look, Suggs knows how to assert himself inside. You give him a lane and he will attack.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. .31 left to play here in the fourth. Takes a step back. Outside Robinson. Durant with the screen on Suggs. Here's Durant. Clock at 4. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Now Bain. Suggs looking around. Now Wagner. Carter sets the pick for Wagner. 6 to shoot. Bain fires. Count it. Nails it from 14.
Stepping in from the line. It's easy money for Bain now.
Now Durant. Thompson outside. Robinson outside. Thompson a screen on Bain. Now Harris for 3. Now Durant. Outside Cunningham. Missed on the 3.
Just too big a deficit to come back from at this point.
Well, you want your players to keep playing hard, but let's be honest. This game's over.
Here is Robinson. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Harris. Beyond the arc. Knocks down the 3.
And really a combo forward with a solid outside touch. Harris is the ideal fit for the modern NBA.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. This was a crucial game for them, tying up the series at 2 apiece, Greg. A huge accomplishment.
In this series, I think hinged on who picked up Game 4, Kevin. I mean, now it's a 3-game series, and anything can happen.
Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us during this first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. For Greg Anthony, Allie LaForce, and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. And as we leave you, we give you our player of the game, Tobias Harris.
We've got a good matchup in the guard position tonight, Clark. Should be a fun battle for the fans.
I agree. I mean, every kid loves to dribble and shoot, so it's a blast to watch the pros do it, the best in the world. Plus, if there's any ankle breaking going on tonight, you know it's going viral.
Harris finds Robinson. Back to Harris. Shot clock at 6. From downtown. The shot no good. Wagner up top, defended by Thompson. Wagner, the pass to Carter. Back to Wagner. Banchero with a screen on Thompson. And Banchero with the bucket. And the assist by Wagner.
So with this bigger build, Banchero sets a solid pick, and then he quickly rolls into open position.
Well, when you need a bucket late in games, Ron Wagner seems to be your guy, Clark.
Yeah, he's made a name for himself as a fourth-quarter producer. I mean, time and time again, Wagner has made a big play at both ends of the floor to help his team late, and that's how you become a clutch performer.
Now here's Robinson. Pass to Thompson. Back to Robinson. Thompson passes to Robinson.
And as a defender, Bane makes good use of his speed, staying on the shooter.
On the wing, Suggs, defended by Thompson. From deep, Banchero. Durant with the rebound. And here's Detroit, down low. Here's Harris. And no good, trying to use the glass.
Nice work defensively, leading him up top and forcing the miss.
Suggs outside. Robinson with a steal. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Payne against Cunningham. And it's Orlando with a rebound.
He's as surprised as we are. Most nights, that bucket is automatic.
Suggs. The 15-footer is good.
Boy, I like Suggs knocking down that mid-range jump shot. That's what the defense gave him. Make him pay for it.
After 2 consecutive first-round exits, the Magic now looking to take the next step, Clark.
You know, B.A., making the playoffs was the first step for this young core. And now that they have some experience, they've added some talent, too. So they're determined to continue to progress towards championship contending status.
Orlando making some changes. The Silva's checked in for Banchero, and Black subbed in for Suggs. Here's Harris. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Lets the 3 fly. Here's Durant. And the dunk by Durant.
You have to put a body on Durant. He's quick, he's athletic, and he has that 7'5" wingspan.
Black outside. Pass to Bane from behind the arc. Durant with a rebound. The Pistons trailing. Takes a step back. Harris finds Durant. And the dunk by Durant.
He's used to sharing the love. Exceptional timing on that pass.
Orlando has gone 0 for 2 from outside. Outside Bain. Orlando moving the ball around. Wagner for three. Sends it home from three-point land.
Hunting for that shot. Wagner wants to eat.
Outside Robinson. The three is up. It's hauled in by the Magic. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. And the dunk by Wagner.
No mercy shown to the rack there. Wagner with the filthy throwdown.
Pistons trail by 5. Cunningham looking around. Pass to Thompson. The three is up. Up in time. And that concludes the first quarter play. Magic out in front, up by 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And we welcome you back to Game 4, folks. Thanks for joining us. And for Orlando, what jumps out to you guys, stat-wise?
Well, clearly they played well in the first period because of their selfless attitude.
Yeah, and you know, so many of their hoops came off an assist, which is a good sign of ball movement and sharing that ball.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thank you. Jamal Mosley is doing a tremendous job for the Magic, and the players gravitate to his approach. He said, quote, coaching is teaching, and you can't teach yelling and screaming and hollering. You teach with communication and positivity, because that's how I think a lot of these guys will actually register it. Back to you.
A new school approach. Thank you, Allie. Here's Batase. After the Pistons picking up a basket just moments ago. Batase a screen on Herder. 5 to shoot. The kick out to Banchero. Shoots over Holland. Banchero knocks down the contested J. And Grant, in recent years, we've seen the pace of the NBA game increasing.
Yeah, it stagnated in the 90s, but it is back. We're still not at the frenetic pace of the 1960s when we'd see over 120 possessions a game. But the efficiency is at an all-time high.
And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Wagner's checked in for Orlando. Jalen Suggs comes in for Richardson. Detroit also making some changes. Thompson, he's checked in for LeVert. Robinson comes in for Herder. And Cunningham subbed in for Jenkins. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Thompson outside for three. It's hauled in by Black. Orlando leading by 7. Pass to Banchero. Holland with a rebound.
He took it up strong, but the defense was ready for it.
Hits the front of the rim and out.
Clean look from mid-range. Coach will probably want to run that play again.
Banchero passes to Black. Batase a screen on Robinson. The three from Suggs. Rebounded by the Pistons. Pass to Stewart. Unable to get that one. Some solid D from Bitadze. Making a name for himself. Goga Bitadze. What do you like about him, Mark?
Well, you start with that wingspan and his basketball IQ. I mean, anytime he's near the rim, he's a problem at both ends. He's got a knack for throwing the ball in the paint. And again, you just can't overlook that size and length.
Suggs with the bucket.
Getting more comfortable with his jumper. Jalen Suggs, no hesitation there.
Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
Stewart, screen on Suggs. Cade on the move. Back to Robinson. Beyond the arc. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Orlando leading by 10. Wagner looking it over to the paint. Here's Bitadze. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in. Bitadze's got his first basket of the night.
Love when Wagner looks to set his guys up. This kid's a versatile swingman.
Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Magic.
Well, you got to be impressed with how selfless they've been so far. Their passing has been simply outstanding.
In addition to that, they've thrown their weight around inside tonight, too, thumping and bumping in the paint. A lot of their points have come from inside.
That free throw is good from Thompson. Orlando making some changes. Wendell Carter comes in for Bitadze. And it's Bane in for Black. Detroit also making some changes. Jalen Durant comes in for Stewart. And Harris is subbed in for Holland. So he makes 1 of 2, and the second one misses. And the dunk by Durant.
It's the little plays like that that can make all the difference. Not boxing out on free throws is a killer.
Carter, the pass to Wagner. From deep, Bane. Thompson pulls it in. And here's Thompson. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. 9-point game. Yes, it's good.
Love to see that kind of activity. He just makes things happen.
Now here's Banchero. He's got 6. Inside. Here's Carter. That's in. Coming off an assist from Banchero. Carter's got his first points of the game.
This is what makes Banchero a difficult cover. His ability to pass it well in screen rolls.
Cunningham against Suggs. There's 10 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Durant with a screen on Suggs. 4 on the clock. The putback.
Just great positioning to get the rebound, then get it back up.
And so it's the Orlando Magic closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. Defense is setting the tone. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining our halftime broadcast here in Game 4, where it's been a strong start for the Orlando Magic.
When you play the right way and you're patient, you usually come out on top.
Yeah, you love a team that will work, sometimes deep into the clock for their shots. Man, that's great.
Checking out the circumstances for the Orlando Magic. They know a win would give them a big advantage in the series and take them 1 step closer to a postseason upset.
It's hard not to love an underdog, and I'm not talking about our underdog. I'm talking about this underdog. EJ, check this out. No easy wins here in the postseason. They need to stay on their A game.
And the most important games are often the toughest games to close out, so we just have to wait and see what happens.
That we will. That does it for halftime. Let's get back to game action. Here's Brian Anderson with the start of the third quarter.
Thanks for joining us again for round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Jalen Durant with a strong contribution so far on this one.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job of creating room to operate for him. And then, of course, executing.
You know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
Orlando with the ball. Now Suggs. Outside Bane. Clock at 6. Back to Suggs. Here's Carter. And that one goes in as he's fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts the free throw. Orlando shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Carter. All right, Clark, let me ask you this. What can other big men learn from Wendell Carter Jr.?
I like his steadiness. He's shown a maturity since he's been in the league. He doesn't seem to get too high or low emotionally. You need fire and competitiveness and physicality to play down low, but you still have to control yourself, and I think he does a good job of that.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Thank you, guys. Jalen Suggs is a tone setter for this Magic team, putting his body on the line with his constant activity. Coach Jamal Mosley said, quote, he wears his emotion and his heart on his sleeve. He's pure. There's so much love there. That's why this group is the way it is, because of how he is. Back to you, Brian.
He's a culture setter. Allie, we appreciate the report. Pistons trail by 8. Oh, deflected. Cunningham outside. Pulls up on the wing. Rebound by the Magic. Wagner with it. Now guarded by Durant. Kicks it out to Bane. 4-3. That's in. Coming off an assist from Banchero. Bane's gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game. Outside Robinson. On the wing, Thompson. Robinson passes to Harris. And it's off from three-point range.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then, because his shot making is not happening right now.
Oh, Banchero throws it down.
Ooh, getting up there. I mean, Banchero wants everyone to know he's a threat to hammer it down.
Cunningham passes to Durant. Harris on the wing. Guarded by Banchero. Back to Durant. Stolen by Carter. Harris against Banchero. It's not going to go for him. Nice D from Thompson. Pass to Durant. Right around 3 minutes into this second half. Durant with a screen on Wagner. To the middle. Tipped. Stolen by Carter. All by himself. And the bucket counts. And he is on his way to the line. He'll try to make it a three-point play. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Orlando making some changes. Matase's checked in for Carter. And Black subbed in for Wagner. A big group substitution here for Detroit. Holland, he's checked in for Harris. LeVert comes in for Thompson. Herter's checked in for Robinson. Jenkins comes in for Cade Cunningham.
And the future Suggs has is certainly promising. An effective combo guard who can really get it going at times.
Pass to LeVert. Outside Herter. Throws it up high. And the dunk by Durant.
He is ferocious on alley-oops. With his good hands and wingspan, Durant makes for an easy target on the lob.
Now here's Suggs. Give him 8. From deep, Bane knocks down the triple. Bane's got 6 in the quarter.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
If it's working, keep working. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on.
outside Herter. And they call an illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago.
From deep three-point land, and no good. Trying to get that one to fall. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's the Magic leading by 17. And we're just moments away from the start of quarter number 4. Stay with us.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And thanks for sticking with us as this round 1 game continues. And it's Cunningham missing. Orlando leading by 17. Pass to Wagner. Count the bucket. Coming off a perfectly placed pass.
Textbook play inside. Wagner doing everything right in that case.
The Pistons shooting only 33%. Not exactly consistent offense. Now here's Herter. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
He got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Magic.
I mean, they played some beautiful basketball all game. The passing has been impressive, and it's opened up things with their ball movement.
You know, the defense has given them that shot, and they've knocked it down consistently, and that's been a real key factor for them tonight.
Looking at who's out there now for Orlando. Carter, he's checked in for Bataze. Banchero comes in for De Silva. And it's Bain in for Black. Detroit also making some changes. Durant, he's checked in for Stewart. Harris comes in for Holland. And it's Asar Thompson in for Jenkins. And he drops a first. And both free throws good for Herter. And so it's Banchero who brings it up for the Orlando Magic. Outside Carter. This one for 3. That's in. Coming off an assist from Banchero. Banchero's got his 4th assist with that last one. Thompson outside. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Pass to Harris. Durant with a screen on Banchero. And here's Harris outside. Rebounded by Suggs. Orlando leading by 20. Outside Bain. Now Banchero. And out of bounds. Detroit will have it. Robinson, he's checked in for Detroit.
Duncan Robinson.
Pistons trail by 20. Thompson outside. Back to Cunningham. Stolen by Carter. Wagner against Thompson. Banchero passes to Bain. And here's Banchero. Just 5 to shoot. That one no good. Oh, great D that time from Harris. Sinks it in the post.
Need to do more than that to keep him from getting the ball in the post.
Exactly. I mean, deny him the ball in the first place. Don't let him get it.
Orlando calls timeout. They're ahead by 18. let's take a second to present our player of the game, Wendell Carter.
It's almost beyond belief what he's done in this game. He's been impossible to cool off, hitting just about everything he looks at. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's had an answer for just about everyone.
Yeah, this is something he will remember forever. These types of performances in the playoffs are what define a player's legacy. Here's Faulkner. Now Bain. Now Banchero. Carter, a screen on Harris. Banchero. Durant pulls it down. Pistons trail by 18.
And with time running down here in Game 4, we've got to give credit to what a terrific performance it's been for the Magic.
Offensively, they made the most of their trips.
They found multiple ways to score consistently, and a little luck doesn't hurt them either. They also got some nice bounces off the rim tonight, too.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency for Wendell Carter.
Well, his defense was tremendous tonight. Really, really high level. He was a pest, forced the opponents into a lot of turnovers.
Now here's Robinson. Cunningham, right side. That's in! Here's Suggs. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now Banchero. Here's Bain. 6 to shoot. He shoots! The jumper is good!
Their home crowd has energized them all game. Now they're closing it out.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Now here's Cunningham. And it's rejected.
Good closeout from Suggs right there. How about the young fella impacting the game at the defensive end?
So it's the Magic winning this one easily. And with this win, they'll jump out to a 3-1 lead in the series. A commanding start.
And they can't afford to take their foot off the gas pedal. The job isn't done yet, but it's close to being all she wrote.
Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us during the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. For Allie LaForce, Clark Kellogg, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for watching the NBA, brought to you by 2K Sports. So long, everybody.
Let's bring out the starters for your Phoenix Suns. At guard, pick 1, number 12, Colin Gillespie. At small forward, 6 feet 4 inches, number 4, Jalen Green. The man in the middle, 7 feet 1 inches, number 15, Mark Williams. The other forward, 6 feet 7 inches, number 3, Dylan Brooks. Starting at shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 1, Devin Booker. The head coach for your Phoenix Suns is Durant. Another round of applause for your Phoenix
matchup doors we have here tonight, featuring two teams that love to shoot the three.
And we continue to see more and more of this in today's NBA camp. Both of these teams have the green light to fire with any sliver of space from deep. This should be a shootout.
Now, here's Holmgren. Shot clock at 5. Here's SGA. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Oh, my goodness. How good was that move by Shea? Creating a bucket.
Williams passes to Gillespie. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams.
Boy, what a sweet pass. That one on time and on target.
Holmgren sets the screen for Gilgeous-Alexander. Brooks with it. He's picked up by Gilgeous-Alexander. Brooks, the pass to Williams. It's stolen by Gilgeous-Alexander. Just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Holmgren outside. Offensive rebound. Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Hartenstein. Holmgren outside. Shot clock at 3. Here's Dort. Hartenstein passes to Dort. They had a number of cracks at it, but came away empty-handed. 3-on-3. Here's Brooks. Can't hit that one. Good D by Gilgeous-Alexander. And Greg, on a team as stacked as OKC, you can almost forget about Chet Holmgren, who is the number 2 overall pick back in 2022.
And let's give him his flowers, right? The portrait of a modern big man. Shot blocking, shooting range, and plays with an edge.
Here's Williams, following the basket by Lou Dort. They now take the lead. Gillespie's got 5 points so far.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now, here's Dort. Pass to Hartenstein. Here's SGA. And he lays it straight in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his second basket.
Yeah, teams will try to get physical with SGA, but make sure you understand that wiry frame is big-time strong.
Williams, a screen on Holmgren. Kicks it out to Booker. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Brooks. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for the Suns, and he told me one guy that we have to always be cognizant of is Chet Holmgren. Coach explained his biggest impact comes on the defensive end, but we can't overlook his offense. He's a 7-footer with guard skills, who can space the floor and is very efficient around the rim. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you. Here's Green, following the score by Oklahoma City. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Putting his size to use. Green's got great length, and it helps him there inside.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Wallace, and the shot goes in.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now, here is O'Neal. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and it creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Chet Holmgren, he's checked in for Williams. And it's Mitchell in for Gilgeous-Alexander. Now here's Waltz. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Missed inside.
And you can see the defender's afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Thunder lead by 3. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And we welcome you back to Game 4 on 2K Sports. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Thunder?
And guys, they've done a great job beating their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
Yeah, what an excellent display of passing in the early stages of this game. A good deal of their points coming directly off quality passes.
And so here's Oklahoma City after the Suns pick up 2. Here's Wallace. Iguodala grabs the rebound. The Suns trail. You know, GA, it seems like a lot of players welcome the opportunity to play in Phoenix. Talk about what makes this market to a player is so appealing.
I think the weather has a lot to do with it, right? Basketball is a winter sport, so for those snowbirds out there, Arizona is a great choice.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Wiggins is checked in. It's Brooks on the wing. Wallace covering. Brooks against Wallace. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And here's Wallace. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mitchell passes to Holmgren. To the middle. Here's Wiggins. The layup off target. Here's Gillespie. Covered by Mitchell. Gillespie, the pass to Booker. Pocket 6. Booker taking the hit.
This guy has so many shots up his sleeve. Devin Booker loves to go with that floater when it's presented to him.
Wallace with a screen for Mitchell. 13 feet away. Brooks grabs the board. The Suns leading. Pass to Gillespie. They set the pick. Here's Booker. In down low. Booker refuses to be denied. And with the trend, Greg, toward a faster pace, do you miss watching those grinded-out half-court battles that enthralled millions during the Jordan era?
Well, I miss playing more than anything, but as far as watching, the game for me is as good as it's ever been.
And now let's swing it over to Allie LaForge on the sideline.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Well, Devin Booker grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but around age 15, he moved to Moss Point, Mississippi to live and train with his father. Booker said, quote, "I understood the goal and I just embraced the culture and the inner city. They took me in, it was a really important time, and it was good for me." Kevin, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Allie. Williams is checked in for Phoenix. Jalen Green comes in for Royce O'Neal. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Hartenstein, he's checked in for Wiggins. Jalen Williams comes in for Wallace. Dort, he's checked in for Isaiah Joe. NSGA subbed in for Mitchell. A minute 50 left here in the second. Green against Gilgeous-Alexander. And there's the call on Mark Williams. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the defense.
Wallace is checked in for Oklahoma City.
Cason Wallace.
There's 1:38 left to play in the first half. Dort kicks to Wallace. 6 on the shot clock. Hartenstein with the screen for Wallace. And the dunk by Hartenstein.
Boy, nice pass, a little ball movement, little player movement. That's how you play this game.
And Doris, we had heard the era of the big threes might be fading, but the Thunder have one with Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And the beauty of that trio you just listed, they are all similar ages. They are all passionate about the craft of the game of basketball, and all three are about winning. But I'm telling you this, the Oklahoma City fans not taking anything for granted. They thought KD, Russell, and Harden would be together forever, and it didn't happen.
Gillespie drills the three-pointer. Gillespie's got the lead up to 4 now for the Suns.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Beyond the leaning, you can see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Kenrich Williams, he's checked in for Aaron Wiggins. Here's Gillespie, 8 points for him. Williams dishes to Booker. Cuts it 5 from 18. And it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the rebound. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Fires from way outside. The shot that time, not on target. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Suns ahead, up by 4. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
First half of this postseason contest, and it hasn't been a great game so far for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
We need a department store intercom. Attention all ballers, attention all ballers. We have a missing defense. Paging the defense, paging the defense.
That was pretty good, Shaq. You might have a future in retail.
Shaq, to register 4, please.
Taking a look at the situation for the Phoenix Suns. Guys, if you had to come up with one word to describe their situation in this series, what would it be?
Question for the panel. Is long shot one word or two?
Yes.
It's not looking good.
Well, I think it's long -shot. So
let's pretend it's one word.
Well, Cancun, that's the word that they should be thinking about.
Well played, well played. We'll see how they do. And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
Well, it doesn't get much better than playoff basketball. Let's get back to the action here in round 1. Suns leading by 4. It's stolen by Hartenstein. And here is Dort. Pass to Holmgren. Now Hartenstein. They double him with Booker. Just 5 to shoot. Hartenstein with a screen on Brooks. Williams can't get it to go. Here's Gillespie. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Here's Booker. Booker brings the fans to their feet.
A little athletic ability on display by D-Book.
Holmgren outside. Down low. Here's Hartenstein, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Hartenstein's got his second bucket of the night.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there on the three-point attempt.
The Suns shoot their first free throws here tonight. And timeout called by Jordan Ott. Coach needs a moment to talk things over.
Suns timeout.
And he's good on the first of three. And DB, you watch how the Thunder play defense. Great rim protection.
Kevin, this philosophy is all about taking away the paint first. If the ball is in the paint, sharks are in the water.
Good on the second free throw.
Boy, as fantastic as Devin Booker's offensive arsenal is, to me, the best part, his competitive edge and toughness, it sets him apart nightly.
And he makes all three.
This is a guy who will happily go to the line if that's what the defense wants to give him.
Outside Williams. Pulls from the top of the key, and the jumper is on the mark.
Boy, when this guy has got his rhythm, he can be tough to guard.
Brooks outside. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Pass to Booker. There's the pick. The three. It's rebounded by Hartenstein. Under trailing by 5. Williams on the floor. And here's SGA. Offensive rebound. Holmgren the pass to Williams. Hartenstein with the screen on Brooks. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Mark Williams. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
For the Thunder, Isaiah Hartenstein taking 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Arson Eels checked in for the Suns. Wallace is checked in for Oklahoma City. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And Phoenix has possession. It's a 3-point game. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Thanks a lot. Oklahoma City is not the biggest town, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said, quote, "Me personally, the market doesn't matter. I love the people in the organization and the people around me. And those are the things that matter. I go to work every single day with a smile on my face." Guys, back to you.
Yep, a wonderful organization. All right, Allie, we appreciate the report. Now, here's SGA. For the time, Gilgeous-Alexander knocks it down from distance.
Well, that's an opportunistic 3-point shot from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He liked the look of it.
And here's Brooks. He'll bring it up for Phoenix. 52 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pass to Gillespie. O'Neal is screen on SGA. Just 5 on the clock. Gillespie, the pass to Green. Over Wallace. And it's Green. Missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Gilgeous Alexander deciding where to go with it. And here is Holmgren, guarded by O'Neal. Holmgren against O'Neal. That gives them the lead. And the Thunder lead by 2.
And looking to get stronger, Holmgren fights through the bump. Tons of time for him to grow into that frame.
There's Green with the 3. No good that time. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. It's the Thunder as they end the third quarter with a big 11-3 run. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And how about a look now at our assist of the game?
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And we're with you again as our round one coverage continues. Oh, it's the screen. Pass to Joe. Off target from outside. Booker outside. Nice move. Booker going to work inside.
Well, a guard has got to come with physical intensity on the interior, and Devin Booker does just that.
Outside Williams. Pass to Mitchell. Takes a 3. O'Neal with the rebound. Suns shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Here's Booker. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Well, there's an activity level and a skill level that makes Devin Booker problematic on the offensive end. He dares defenders to get physical with him.
Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Hartenstein's checked in for Jalen Williams. Williams comes in for Wallace. Dort, he's checked in for Isaiah Joe. And SGA's subbed in for Mitchell. He hits both from the stripe. Oklahoma City's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Now Holmgren. Gilgeous Alexander. The 3 goes down.
He really thrives in high-pressure moments. That's a big-time play.
Outside Booker. Here's Green. Takes the shot. It's in. His shot is pure. We've seen some great competition in this one.
Yeah, 7 already in the game, and I think it shows you how well these two teams match up with one another.
Now, here's Dort. Outside Hartenstein. Now, Gilgeous Alexander knocks down the 3.
You love how fast Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets into that shooting motion. As soon as it touches his hands, it is ready to go.
Booker tipped away. Out of bounds. Suns ball. Phoenix keeps possession. And timeout called by Jordan Hart. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guy.
And it's time to get down with your mascot. Let's groove.
And now, let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Guys, over that last break, I listen to Phoenix's coach address his team. He thinks they're still very much in this game, saying it's right there, but it's on us to take care of it. We have to make it happen, hoping to inspire his team here.
And Allie, thanks so much. Brooks outside. Just 4 to shoot. Now Booker fires away from outside. Holmgren rips down the rebound.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
All right, here's Williams. Tries the spin move from 12 feet. Yeah, count it.
Jalen Williams relishes the opportunity to deliver in the clutch, and boy, does he answer.
Steps back. On the wing, Booker, defended by Dort. Not that time. It won't go. And so it's Dort with it. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. They lead by 4. Well, Phoenix shooting at 50% in a decent group. 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. All right, here's Williams. Knocks it loose. Taken away by Williams. And so they foul intentionally.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's SGA. Williams outside. Hartenstein. And that one is good.
The assist, Williams.
This is a huge possession.
And this is where all the hard work pays off. You have to be able to execute under pressure.
And timeout called by Jordan Ott. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. Here's Green. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Hartenstein against Williams. Shot clock at 6. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. And they go to the intentional foul.
Fourth personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the Thunder, Isaiah Hartenstein. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he is unable to get the second one. Green from outside. And they do it. They'll move on to round 2. What a performance through the entire first round. Great sweeping in 4 games.
They really had a tremendous series. Watching how well these guys played as a unit has got to be scary for their round 2 matchup.
Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us for the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. So, for Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan, saying thanks for joining us. And as we leave you, we give you our player of the game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
When it comes to these two teams, Greg, you have to expect they'll be relying on their front court to get it done here.
Yeah, I think that's right, B.A. It should be an old-fashioned battle amongst the bigs. And whoever gets the edge in that matchup, I think gets the W. But we'll see.
Double team on Gilgeous-Alexander. Brooks against Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Off target with the 3.
Locking the arc down. Defense knows it's on them to scare them with those shots.
Yeah, the moment the fast break starts, Brooks is out in transition, and that also gives him the edge.
Now here's SGA. Back to Dort. It's stolen by Green. On the wing, Brooks. He's covered by Holmgren. Pass to Gillespie. And here is Williams. And here's Booker. Dort defending. Clock at 4. Fires the 3. Booker no good.
And even after airtight defense like that, still just expect him to hit those kind of shots.
Everyone knows Devin Booker for one thing, Richard. His ability to score.
Yeah, I always think back to that 70-point game he had against the Celtics. He was only 20 at the time, the youngest ever in that 70-point club.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Phoenix. We talked about Jalen Williams and what he wanted to see from his team defensively against him. He told me we just have to be aware of where he is at all times. The second you lose sight of him, that's when he'll torch you. We all got to be on the same page. It seems like Williams will be a central focus for them tonight. Back to you, B.A.
And Allie, thanks. For Phoenix, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. Here's Williams. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Phoenix shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
Mark Williams. 2 shots.
That free throw misses. He hits the second from the line. And the first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. And RJ, you grew up in Phoenix. I imagine still a lot of connections in this neck of the woods.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to win a state title in high school in this building right here. Look, some of the people still work here. Then I played my college ball just a few hours away in Tucson.
So for Oklahoma City, Williams is checked in for Hartenstein. And it's Wallace in for Dort. 1:46 left to play in the first. Wallace outside. Up top, Holmgren. Over Brooks. A chance there to take the lead, but a miss. Here's Gillespie. Gilgeous-Alexander defending. Now Booker. And Booker with the jam.
That's just too easy for D-Book. You can't give him an opening like that.
Outside, Williams. On the wing, Wallace. Booker defending. They get it again. Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Huge putback. This guy plays with so much energy.
I don't know anybody that goes after the boards harder. Pass to Brooks. Takes the three. SGA pulls it in. Oklahoma City has gone 0 for 2 from outside. And the big finish by Holmgren.
And before he even leaves the floor, Holmgren has the ball at rim level.
Green against Williams. Now here's Brooks. Here's Booker. Buries it down low.
Starting to find his rhythm. He's cooking, and he knows it.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
3 seconds separating the shot and game clock. Right side, SGA. Rebounded by Green.
Good shot, gone bad. Gotta finish there.
Here's Brooks. And that comes off the assist by Green.
He just makes it look so easy on offense. Who takes pleasure in torturing defenses? He does.
Well, a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Suns ahead. They lead by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And we welcome you back to Game 4, folks. Thanks for joining us. And for Phoenix, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Give it up for their D. They're battling, communicating, and coming up with key stops.
It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the kind of defense that they've played. Great showing from them.
That one drops for him. Allen's got his first 2 points of the night.
Got it in close, and unless it's an open three, that's the key to efficient offense.
Wiggins on the wing. He's covered by O'Neal. Outside for Mitchell. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Want to score in the NBA? Picks can really force the D to make tough choices.
Here's Goodwin. To the inside. And that one is hammered home.
I'll tell you, he is so tough to keep down once he gets near that rim.
Yeah, he can get up even a few notches higher. And so Mark Daigneault will call a timeout. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over.
Here we go, fans. Make some noise for your Breaker headquarters.
Making some changes. Dylan Brooks checked in for Highsmith. Booker comes in for Allen. And Gillespie is subbed in for Goodwin. And also a switch here for Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Mitchell. Here in the second quarter, a little over a minute of play. Here's SGA, and that's good. Off the glass that time. Well, when you think about how the game has evolved in recent years, RJ, the role of the big man might have changed the most.
Who knew threes and assists would become a key stat for 7-footers? But I will say, size helps. You cannot teach tall.
Inside. Oh, a two-handed power slam.
continuing to get better at facilitating Booker with a dime.
Thunder trail by 5. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Chet Holmgren talked about how he succeeds despite the slender frame. He said, you can't be afraid of contact. I'll continue to use my strengths out there, my length, being slippery, playing hard, and try to get better at my weaknesses too throughout my career. That will leave me in a good spot. Back to you.
The sky is the limit for him. All right, Allie, thank you. SGA can't get it to go.
Despite the miss, those are the kind of looks coaches hope to create.
You know, Richard, when you think about work rate, Dylan Brooks and the effort with which he plays comes to mind.
Yeah, we created statistics based on effort. Oh, Dylan Brooks would be one of the guys in the top of the list. Energy exerted, contact plays, bumps. He does everything to agitate the offensive player.
Now here's Holmgren. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Wallace. And that one is stuffed right through.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Here's SGA. And they're unable to get the tying bucket there.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is, too.
Booker, the pass to Brooks. Booker surveying the D. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Booker with the touch.
Soft touch. Booker finding his spot, just floating it in.
There's 39 seconds left in the first half. Holmgren with a screen on Brooks. Holmgren outside. Three-pointer. O'Neal pulls it in. And Booker's got the ball here for the Suns. Goes up at the elbow. Oklahoma City grabs a miss. Up top, SGA. Booker defending. Gilgeous-Alexander showing off his skills inside.
And you like the balance here. Not just falling in love with the three ball.
For 3, Booker. And that's not going to go. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Phoenix out in front, up 3. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Greetings, one and all. The postseason drama we love, and no disappointment here as it's a close game so far for the Phoenix Suns.
They're hitting at a high clip. Some shots have been wide open, some tightly contested.
And as the ball continued to fall through the net, you could see their confidence growing. Taking a look at the situation for the Phoenix Suns. Guys, if you had to come up with one word to describe their situation in this series, what would it be?
Question for the panel. Is long shot one word or two?
Yes.
It's not looking good.
Well, I think it's long hyphen shot. So
let's pretend it's one word.
Well, Cancun, that's the word that they should be thinking about.
Well played, well played. We'll see how they do. And that's it for halftime. Thank you for joining us. We send you back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
Great to have you with us again as we return to our coverage of round 1. Nice game. Great performance by Devin Booker.
And if he felt any pressure coming into this game, he sure hasn't shown it. What a sensational start.
His performance shows no sign of any nerves. Great job controlling your emotions.
Here's Booker. Pass to Gillespie. Williams, a screen on Gilgeous-Alexander. Gillespie passes to Williams. It's tipped, and they'll get another chance. They get it back, and another shot. Phoenix no good that time either.
I think the defense will live with him taking mid-range jumpers, but maybe just a little bit more resistance.
SGA passes to Holmgren. Oh, the persistence inside of Chet Holmgren.
A beautiful finish through contact. That's the dog in Holmgren.
Pass to Williams. Some nice ball movement by Phoenix. And once again, off the mark by Phoenix. Oklahoma City trailing. Dort, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Holmgren. Ooh, Holmgren fighting through contact.
And this is where Holmgren is such a scoring threat. His size can make interior shots easier to find.
And here's Brooks. Outside Booker. Five on the clock. Shoots off the step back. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And the defense was right on him there. Nice contest.
Gilgeous-Alexander, good.
All it takes is a sliver of daylight, and Gilgeous-Alexander will exploit it.
And looking at Jalen Williams, is there a part of his game you like best, Grant?
You know, it's tough to pick just one, B.A. He's such an all-around player. He can guard point guards, post players, you name it, and can score from anywhere on the court.
And so the timeout by Jordan Ott here. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. And we're just about 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Pass to Williams. Here's Gillespie.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
6 to shoot. Williams against Green. And once again, off the mark by Phoenix. Oklahoma City leading by 3. Dort, pass to Holmgren. Holmgren with a screen on Brooks. Here's SGA. Fires it. And Holmgren with the basket on the assist by SGA. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 3rd assist of the night. For Phoenix, they've gotten 0 shots to go out of 6 attempts. Pass to Booker. Will it go? And once again, off the mark by Phoenix. And here's SGA. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. 55 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And the shot goes.
Yeah, he came flying in right there. Gilgeous-Alexander on cleanup duty.
And so the timeout by Jordan Ott here. He'll take the opportunity to regroup.
All right, club fans, here come your Suns dancers.
So Phoenix going with almost an entirely new group here. Iguodala, he's checked in for Williams. O'Neal comes in for Brooks. Allen, he's checked in for Booker. And Goodwin is subbed in for Gillespie. "52 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter of basketball. Now here's Green, covered by Joe. Screen by O'Neal. Green for three. Williams grabs the board.
It's obvious they're becoming frustrated. Nothing seems to be going their way.
In a major drought, need to find some sort of momentum.
Now here's Mitchell. Outside, Williams. Here's Wallace. Can't get it to fall. Allen outside. And that one's good. Iguodala's got 6 points.
He's been doing all he can to keep this competitive, but he needs some support.
Launches it from deep. No good. Would have counted had it gone. The third quarter comes to a close. It's the Thunder. They lead by 5. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
That wasn't a better pass in the game, almost like he had a sixth sense.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining 2K Sports and our coverage of this first round. Mitchell deciding where to go with it. Holmgren outside. Wallace outside. Screen by Holmgren. From deep, Mitchell knocks down the long J.
Oh, nice feed. On time and on target.
Offensively, it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Here's Joe. Holmgren. Ooh, Chet with a big finish.
And this is what coach wants to see from Holmgren. Outworking the defense to get a second chance look.
Here's Goodwin. Check by Mitchell. Right at the free throw line. Booker's shot is good.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Yes! Using that window!
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Yeah, they're going to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
And Jordan Ott decides to call timeout. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. So Phoenix going with almost an entirely new group here. Mark Williams, he's checked in for Iguodala. Brooks comes in for O'Neal. Jalen Green, he's checked in for Allen. And Gillespie is subbed in for Goodwin. A big group substitution here for Oklahoma City. Hardenstein, he's checked in for Williams. Williams comes in for Wallace. Dort, he's checked in for Joe. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Mitchell. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Over that last break, I listened to Phoenix's coach address his team. He said to them, "You guys look defeated out there. Wake up. This game is far from over, but I need you all to believe that. I need you to fight for one another right now."
Great work, Allie. Thanks.
What a tricky play by Booker, using the pump fake to draw the defender and win the foul.
For Phoenix, Devin Booker, taking 2 shots.
That free throw good from Booker.
This is who you want at the line, and Booker gets himself there a lot.
Both free throws good from Booker.
No surprise there. He's about as automatic as it gets from the stripe. I hope I didn't jinx him.
SGA outside Holmgren. Now Dort. Here's Hartenstein. Outside Holmgren. Puts up the tray. Ooh, it doesn't go.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Now Booker. Rejected by Holmgren.
Wow, I mean, the 7'6" wingspan coming in handy. Holmgren loves swatting away shots just like this.
And so it's Williams with it. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. They've led by as much as 10. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. And the basket is good.
And the D can't allow Gilgeous-Alexander to get this positioning, because once he does, he makes you pay.
Booker against Dort. For three. Ooh, the shot misses.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Here's the pass to Williams. Here's Holmgren. Lou Dort. It's good from beyond the arc.
These guys really stepped up and played their hearts out to finish the series on their terms. So it's going to be on to the next round for the Thunder.
And at first glance, it appeared to be an easy win for them. However, they had to weather some storms along the way, Grant.
Yeah, in terms of competitiveness, it was a lot closer than the final score indicates.
They just owned this series from the start. A clean sweep and a dominant showing from them.
Yeah, super impressive. They took a hold of this series from the jump and just never took their foot off the accelerator.
And what a huge performance it was for Chet Holmgren.
Terrific initiative. Not content to let the game come to him, he went out and made it his own.
1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. From 15 feet away. Oh, no good. Now here's SGA. Tightly guarded. They've won it. Next stop, conference semifinals. And they delivered an epic performance, sweeping this best-of-7 series.
That's what you want to do. Get out of the first round as quickly as possible. Now the road gets a little harder.
Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us for the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And time now to introduce our player of the game, Chet Holmgren.
Well, I think it's long hyphen shot. So, word. Well, Cancun, that's the word that they should be thinking about.
Well played, well played. We'll see how they do. And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
NBA playoffs, round one. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action on the court. Nice. Great performance by Jabari Smith.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
You love guys who can get their shots within the flow of the offense.
So, Richard, you hear the phrase hold time. How long players hold the ball over the course of a game. Walk us through that.
Guys with longer hold times are typically shot creators for their team, or they are post-up players. If you have a shorter hold time, that means you are catch and shoot, catch and decision make very quickly. Shot.
Kennard finds James. Another miss by LeBron. Houston leading by 5. Smith the pass to Thompson. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Thompson's got the first bucket of the third here for the Rockets. James looking around. Apr, the pass to Şengün. Over Ayton. Şengün, no good. And so it's Hachimura who brings up the ball for the Lakers, trailing by 5. James against Smith. Here's the 3. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. And we're just about a minute quarter basketball. At over 40 years old, Richard, the way LeBron James is still able to impact the game is absolutely incredible.
And just for context, through NBA history, the averages for a player once he turns 40 are 6 points and 3 rebounds. LeBron is blowing that out of the water.
You're smart. Those 3-pointers off the mark. 5.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Smith with it. He's got 8. And James pulls it down.
Look, the defense was locked in on him there. They know how dangerous he can be, and they guarded him perfectly.
Kennard gets to Smart. A 3-pointer is right on target. Smart's got 6.
Just such a quick release there by Marcus Smart. You love to see that just catch, touch, and release.
And so the timeout taken here by Ime Udoka. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Even out here during warm-ups, guys looking focused on what they need to do to pull out the win. 2K Sports is proud to present to you Game 5 of this first-round Western Conference matchup. In this game, we'll see the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Denver Nuggets here at Ball Arena. Alongside Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, I'm Kevin Harlan. Allie LaForce will be our reporter tonight on the sideline. Taking a look at Denver. They thought they'd be up 3-1 at this time. Instead, they find themselves in a win-or-go-home scenario. This is unexpected.
Kevin, this is why they play the game. On paper, this wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe they got a little complacent. Maybe this raucous home crowd can snap them out of this trance that they seem to be in.
Well, they need something, that's for sure. Randall outside. Back to Edwards. It's stolen by Brown. Here's Murray. No good on that one. Great D that time from Edwards. Here's DiVincenzo. That's in, coming off an assist from Randall.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
Defensively, you do not want to see Jokic heat up from out there.
And never break an all-star, but he is a star. Jamal Murray can flat out play.
And he's had his hurdles to overcome with injury over the years, but he's never one to shrink from a challenge, and he remains a prolific shot creator.
Here's Brown. Following the basket by Julius Randle. Johnson surveying the floor. And Jokic gets it to go. The assist by Johnson. Jokic just got 5.
Confident stroke from Jokic. Shot ready on the catch.
Back to DiVincenzo. Pass to Edwards. Beyond the arc. And it's Denver with the rebound. They're looking to bounce back after the bitter loss on Saturday.
Yeah, in that one, the shot selection wasn't terrible, but they had to tighten it up.
For the 3.
Did not happen.
Seems like they did all they could, and sometimes it still doesn't go your way.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Randall gets hauled in by Gordon.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup. Murray outside. Shoots over McDaniel. Murray
no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
There's no airspace there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Here's Gobert. That one goes in.
Catching them by surprise. It's not often Gobert strikes from any kind of range.
A premier offense for the Nuggets, but defensively, Stan, there has been some slippage.
Well, they've had to make some tough financial decisions, letting some of their defensive-minded veterans depart in free agency over the years. They got to wonder who will step up, but it often takes young players a little longer at the defensive end.
Whole new lineup here for the Nuggets. .114 left to play in the first quarter. Jones against Highland. Jones kicks to Brown. 5 on the clock. Hardaway is screen on Clark. The Nuggets with another miss.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go through it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
Dosunmu, shot's good.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Pass to Valanciunas. Now Hardaway shoots over Dosunmu. That one's in, his first shot this game.
He's known for his jump shot, but Hardaway isn't afraid to mix it up inside.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game. Dosunmu, the pass to Highland. And here's Reed. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Outside Hardaway. Top of the key. Reed with the rebound. Puts up a deep three. Oh, he got it to go!
That's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's an energizer boost heading into the next quarter. You know he's got to be fired up.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Minnesota on top as they end the first quarter on a 12-4 run. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. He's checked in for Jackson Hayes. So glad to have you with us here as we bring you more action from courtside at Game 5. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep that kind of intensity for the entire game. But if they can come close to that, they'll be in a great spot.
Highland against Murray. Fires from the wing. Yep, that one goes in there. Highland's got the lead up to 9 now for Minnesota.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look.
Murray lays it up off the glass. Murray's got his first points of the game.
Yeah, Murray is a very good outside shooter, but I think he's at his best when he gets into the paint.
And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Chiney, who's calling in with a good story. Sean, what do you have?
Well, the new ownership group taking over for the Timberwolves, it remains a commitment to continuity on the basketball side. And while creating a replacement for the league's second oldest arena is a priority, they've made it clear their commitment is to remain in Minnesota.
You'll love to hear it. All right, Johns, we thank you for the report. Now here's Hardaway. From downtown, a three-pointer is right on target. Hardaway's got his second bucket of the night.
A go-to shot for Hardaway Jr. He can really hurt defenses from downtown.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Jokic is checked in. Timberwolves also changing it up. Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. McDaniels comes in for Clark. And Anthony Edwards subbed in for Highland. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Randall passes to McDaniels. Another miss by Minnesota.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Stan, you know, you think about the release point on Jokic's outside shot. It's tough to get to.
Yeah, Kevin, it certainly is. And the problem is if you start to come out of your stance to try to get to that shot, Jokic will just pull the ball down and beat you on the drive.
Now here's Dosunmu following the miss by Jokic. Randall with the bucket.
And the defense cannot underestimate Randall's strength. Pushes right through the contact and gets the shot.
Now here's Murray. Out left of the wing. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. Those three-pointers off the mark. Timberwolves leading by 6. McDaniels outside. Pass to Edwards. A three. Denver grabs the miss. Jokic kicks to Murray. 1:14 left in the first half of the game. Jokic sets the screen for Hardaway. Pocket 6. It's stolen by Gobert. Dosunmu finds Edwards. Edwards just makes it look simple inside.
Well, I love when guys like Edwards work inside. Don't settle for jumpers. Get a solid look close to the rim.
Stolen away. And here comes the break. Finish off the break. And now it's a 10-point Minnesota lead.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Randall with the bucket.
And how about the touch there inside? And that's where Randall likes to get the ball, and you can see why.
Murray outside. To the paint. It's stolen by Gobert. One-on-one here. Just 3 on the clock. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws of the game.
The line for the Timberwolves. Julius Randle taking 2 shots.
The first one falls. He's perfect from the line this time.
And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And we've got more on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
And we thank you for joining this postseason broadcast, and it's been an outstanding first half for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I'm guessing my buddy over here loving it. They were forcing the ball into the paint with excellent results.
Hey, it's not rocket science. I keep telling people that.
An interesting postseason for the Nuggets. At home, but down 3-1 in the series. Not a position they expected to be in, Shaq. What needs to happen to win the final 3 games of the series?
Let me go first, Ernie. Let me go first. They got to play with a lot of energy every minute they're on the court. And if they want to survive, it's going to take everything they've got.
Listen, they're great in the regular season, but the playoffs is a whole different animal.
Like, what kind of an animal?
A liger.
What's a liger?
Lion and a tiger. Very rare.
Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
Well, it doesn't get much better than playoff basketball. Let's get back to the action here in round 1. Nice game. Great performance by Julius Randle.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
And GA, you know, some people argue that defense has declined in recent years. Would you agree?
I think mostly it's just harder to defend in today's game. You have to cover so much more ground, and with the lack of physicality, it just makes it more challenging.
Here's Brown over Edwards. Great D that time from Edwards. Timberwolves leading by 14. Now here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Randle. 5 to shoot over Gordon. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey, Anthony Edwards keeps a tight circle. He said, I've known my whole crew since I was 13, and that's the answer to everything. And the crew includes those voices of wisdom, too. He said, quote, I keep those types of friends around. I'm not the type that always listens, but I'll listen to my elders. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. And good depth for the Timberwolves. It can be challenging sometimes, Stan, choosing who plays and who sits.
Well, Kevin, that's the kind of problem you want as a coach. But they've traded away a lot of draft capital to assemble this roster. Now it's about paying them to keep them together.
Good on the bucket.
Jokic has every shot.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Edwards passes to Gobert. Back to Edwards. Jokic with the steal. To the inside. Here's Murray. Up and in on the way. Murray's got his second basket of the game.
Well, every defense gives extra attention to Murray, but they still have trouble keeping him under control.
And here's Edwards. He's got 6. That one doesn't drop. DiVincenzo against Murray. Here's Jokic. Jokic just takes what he wants inside. Amazing.
Well, what really makes Jokic special inside isn't just his size, but his gracefulness.
Here's Randle. No good on the shot. Gordon with the defensive effort. The Nuggets trail by 10. Brown the pass to Murray. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Here's Jokic. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. DiVincenzo against Murray. DiVincenzo can't hit it. And Murray's got the ball here for Denver. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Inside, it's stolen by Gobert. To the paint. Here's DiVincenzo. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
And Matador defense That's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Now when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Now here's McDaniels. No scoring in this one, and it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Murray outside. Out to the right wing with 1 on the clock, and Watson with the basket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got 4 assists now tonight, and we've reached the end of the third. Timberwolves lead by 8. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Well, his height gives him the ability to see the floor, and he makes a quick decision and a great pass.
NBA playoff round 1. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action on the court. Now here's Murray. The kick out to Brown. 6 to shoot. Murray dishes to Brown. Highland with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 8. Randall passes to Reed. Back in, coming off an assist from Randall. Randall's got his 3rd assist on the night.
You don't want to leave Reed any space out there. He's an efficient three-point shooter.
Hardaway, no good. The Timberwolves shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. They get it back. Randall with the bucket.
Relentless on the backboard. Randall, a fantastic rebounder, and that time it directly leads to points.
Now here is Hardaway. Now Murray. From about 16, good work there as it goes down.
Well, that's just great awareness there from Murray to take advantage of what the defense was giving him and go to work in the mid-range.
Timberwolves leading by 11. And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear, and immediately. Big group substitution here for Denver. Jokic, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Gordon comes in for Peyton Watson. Cameron Johnson's checked in for Bruce Brown. And Christian Brown subbed in for Hardaway. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. McDaniels comes in for Clark. Edwards, he's checked in for Dosunmu. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Highland.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and you know they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
Now here's Edwards. pulls it down. The Nuggets trail by 11.
Well, when Gordon's team makes it this easy for him, of course he's going to throw it down the hall.
Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. It's good!
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Now, here's Jokic. Right, we see a lot of change in the NBA, but Nikola Jokic always seems to stay in the MVP conversation.
And not just in it, at the top of it. His ability to affect the game is basically unmatched. He dominates in just about every single aspect.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, we've seen very few superstars as unselfish as Jokic. He'll play whatever role is necessary for his team to win.
Both shots good from the stripe. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. It's Randall, and stolen by Gordon. And pushing it up, here's Denver. Jokic. No good on the layup. Minnesota leading by 10. Outside Edwards. Now Gobert. Outside Edwards. Shot clock at 6. And he jams it in.
And guys, just really impressed. They made big plays when it counted, and that's why it's going to be on to the next round for the Timberwolves.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
Yeah, I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And I clearly think they showed to be the better team over the course of the series.
Hey, anytime you can win in fives, I mean, tonight, of course, they are way out in front. You take a lot of that mojo into the next round. We'll see if they can keep this same sort of competitive attitude as the stakes get higher. The competition also gets tougher.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Julius Randle.
He was everywhere, defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
And that one misses. And, Coach, one thing that David Adelman stressed was getting this Nuggets team in much better shape.
Yeah, it seems like they wore down in the playoffs last season. So improved conditioning and more depth potentially could help them hold up better down the stretch.
So Denver ends up going with a whole new group. And he's good on the second. So Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves franchise player. GA, how good do you think he can be?
Well, some were ready to anoint him the new face of the league. But if they're to win the franchise's first title, there's another level he's got to reach.
Now, here's Dosunmu. Tim Hardaway unable to get his last shot to go. Launches it. No good there. Denver with the ball. It's a 13-point game. Puts up the three. And they're going to move on to the conference semifinals.
The end of the game.
They had control the whole series, and they are just rolling now, winning round one, 4 games to 1.
And they are going to be tough to beat, Kevin. A few days rest afforded by taking this one in 5. Round 2 should be exciting as well.
And that about wraps it up, folks. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast of the NBA Western Conference quarterfinals. Here with Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan, signing off for this presentation of NBA basketball. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Julius Randle.
You take a look at the Nuggets. This team is reeling. Down 3-1 in the series, but they have a chance to gain some momentum.
Well, they definitely came out flat in this series, but two of the final 3 games at home, they still have a chance.
Now here's McDaniels. DiVincenzo, pass to Randall. Jokic grabs the board.
No such thing as an easy bucket most of the time in the NBA, but I'm surprised he missed that.
Gordon on the wing. Pass to Jokic. And stolen by Edwards. And here we go, the Timberwolves on the run. Here's McDaniels. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
It's always fun when you can get ahead of the play like McDaniels did there to finish off the break.
Gordon outside. Back to Murray. There's the three. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. Grant, he's built for the big moments. Jamal Murray ready and willing when the pressure is on.
Yeah, B.A. His playoff performances speak for themselves. Clutch scoring, playmaking, and of course, that killer mentality.
Now here's Jokic. Outside Murray. Three-pointer. No luck on that one. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. Here's McDaniels. Lays it up and banks it in.
Basically just ignored that contact inside. Really tough finish by McDaniels.
Outside Johnson. The Nuggets with another miss.
I think everybody in the building expected them to make that collective shot.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards. Just 5 on the clock. Picked by Gobert. From 18 feet away. 2 points. That one goes.
And with the way he can rise, Edwards able to get that shot off anytime.
So David Adelman's decided to call timeout here. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan.
Please give a big round of applause for Let's give it up one more time for your Nuggets Ready Dance team.
.151 left in the opening quarter. And the Wolves still seeking their first title, Clark.
Yep, the Lakers won 5 championships when they played in Minneapolis, BA, way in the day. The Timberwolves joined the league in 1989, and they're still trying to bring another basketball title to the city.
4 on the clock. Here's Jokic. And another miss by Denver. The Timberwolves lead by 6. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks. I caught up with the Nuggets head coach. Immediately, Anthony Edwards came up in our conversation, and Coach kind of chuckled and said, well, I don't know if anyone on the planet can slow this kid down. He's on his way to becoming one of the best in the league. If he's not there already, looks like they're going to roll the dice on one of the league's most talented players. Guys, back to you.
Thank you for that, Allie. Clark, when you look at the evolution of Julius Randle, talk about his playmaking.
Yeah, he's worked on trying to see things as they develop a little more, and I imagine he's done a lot of film study. I could only attribute some of his improvement to that. He's looking for others intentionally and aggressively, so I think that's part of why his teammates enjoy playing with him. They know he's making the effort to distribute the basketball.
And it's a completely new group here for the Nuggets. And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Reed's checked in for Gobert. Clark comes in for McDaniels. DeSumo, he's checked in for Anthony Edwards. And it's Highland in for DiVincenzo. And Randall drops them both. And when you have a multiple MVP like Nikola Jokic, there's pressure to put him in position to win it all, Clark.
Certainly agree with you there, B.A. Widely regarded as the best player on the planet. Jokic has the capacity to wield them to victory single-handedly, but ideally, he shouldn't have to. He needs some additional reinforcement to complement his greatness.
So it's Denver now, following the score by Minnesota. So David Adelman's decided to call timeout here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. He's checked in for the Nuggets. Anderson's checked in for Minnesota.
Substitution on the court.
That's tipped. Stolen by Anderson. The finish! And finished off by Anderson.
They've controlled the paint so far. That's been the difference.
And, you know, establishing that physical dominance early gives you a big mental edge, too. Don't discount that.
Now here's Valanciunas. And they're going to count that bucket. And they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
They talk about big boy muscle. Valanciunas just outworking the defense and capitalizing as well.
Jamal Murray is checked in for Denver. The Timberwolves also with a sub. Julius Randle's checked in for Anderson.
One shot.
And Valanciunas no good on that one.
Boy, Valanciunas, a mountain of a man, a solid big guy who scores well and provides a lot of length and muscle inside.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Murray against Highland. Shot clock at 6. Valanciunas with a screen on Highland. Murray for 3. Here's Valanciunas. It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
Great job ending the quarter on a high note.
Nothing like knocking down that last possession of a quarter to give you a little feel-good momentum.
The first quarter concludes, and a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. It's Minnesota. They're up by 10. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And let's get you back onto the court for more of this pivotal Game 5. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
You figured they might want to come out and run, and it's been the key for them early. They're just feasting on fast break chances.
You know, points off turnovers is something else they've excelled in. I expect the opponent at least to try to squeeze that orange a little better.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Brian. Chris Finch getting buy-in from his players top to bottom. Anthony Edwards said, he's such a great coach and just a likable person. He will coach you hard, and he comes in ready to work every day. You look forward to working with someone like that. Brian, back over to you.
Has him bought in. Thanks much for the report, Allie. And Grant, David Adelman, a second-generation NBA head coach, grew up immersed in the game.
Yeah, B.A., basketball was a family obsession. David, a ball boy for the Blazers in the 90s, went on to coaching, which he's done for decades. His whole life has led him to this.
And Chris Finch wants a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Nikola Jokic is checked in for Valanciunas. Shannon's checked in for Minnesota. Edwards comes in for Highland. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute to play. Randall, pass to Edwards. Reed, a screen on Hardaway. And Edwards puts up a deep three. Minnesota again missing.
It's tough to get open in this league, and when you do, it hurts not to capitalize.
Outside, Brown. Watson passes to Jokic. Jokic is doubled. Here's Murray. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots over Reed. Murray, no good. The Timberwolves lead by 8. Maybe not the title you want, but Jamal Murray's probably the best player never named an All-Star.
Yeah, interesting. It's kind of like being the last player or the best player not to win a major in golf. I mean, he is a devastating, lethal scorer and a really good passer, too. And he's been right there on the cusp. I think it speaks more to the strength and quality of talent in the West than it does to Jamal Murray's lack of ability. I mean, he's an all-star caliber player for sure.
Now here's Randall. Reed sets a screen. Dosunmu, pass to Randall. Back to Dosunmu, puts up a three. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall. Dosunmu's gotten himself on the board with a three there. 1:19 left to play in the second quarter. Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
Reed against Jokic. Hardaway, the pass to Jokic. Clock is at 3. The big-time strength of Jokic.
He knows he can get his shot anytime he wants, and he also knows he has the green light.
Pass to Shannon. And here's Edwards. It's hauled in by Nikola Jokic. Jokic has got 4 rebounds now. Here's Murray. Murray gets it done inside.
Murray using the mid-range, an effective shot for a good penetrator like Jamal. He's a natural scorer.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Edwards, a pass to Reed. Rebound by the Nuggets. Jokic has got 5 rebounds tonight. Pass to Murray. Down low. Stolen by Reed. Here's Randall. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Minnesota ending the quarter up 10. Their defensive efforts have paid off, effectively shutting down the opposing offense. More 2K action in just a moment.
Amazing stunts from your partner, Arena Entertainment.
Thanks for joining us for postseason basketball. Clearly, guys, the second half going to be a tough task for the Denver Nuggets.
Where's the intensity at the defensive end? They need to get a hand up and contest more shots.
Coach needs to encourage them to be better moving forward, just like I do with you guys.
I'd better put my feet up. It's getting deep in here. An interesting postseason for the Nuggets. At home, but down 3-1 in the series. Not a position they expected to be in, Shaq. What needs to happen to win the final 3 games of the series?
Let me go first, Ernie. Let me go first.
Oh,
they got to play with a lot of energy every minute they're on the court. And if they want to survive, it's going to take everything they've got.
Listen, they're great in the regular season, but the playoffs is a whole different animal.
Like, what kind of an animal?
A liger.
What's a liger?
Lion and a tiger. Very rare.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to head back over to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
Great to have you with us again as we return to our coverage of round 1. Boy, you got to like what Jonas Valanciunas has done in this game.
And if he felt any pressure coming into this game, he sure hasn't shown it. What a sensational start.
Yeah, you know, I think he relishes the pressure, especially in a big game like this one. He really eats that stuff up.
Now here's Jokic. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Edwards looking for an opening. Gobert with a screen on Gordon. To the paint. Stolen by Jokic. Brown against Edwards. Pass to Jokic. And Grant, when it comes to a franchise player, how much does it help to have a guy who unites the locker room?
Well, you know, B.A., when you think of guys like LeBron James or a Stephen Curry or Tim Duncan, it's not just about their play on the court, but the type of person you see in the locker room. That can rally a franchise.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Nikola Jokic is a family man through and through. He said, quote, "Basketball is not the main thing in my life and probably never will be. And to be honest, I like it because I have something more at home, something that's more important than basketball." Guys, back to you.
Some good perspective. Thank you very much for the report, Allie. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Randall.
And I like that defense from Gordon. He's a guy that makes you uncomfortable if he's guarding.
It's tipped. Over a minute and a half now into this third quarter action. Randall, a screen on Brown. DiVincenzo finds Randall. And he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on.
That one falls. Jokic has got his second basket.
Being opportunistic, just taking what the defense allows.
You know, more and more big guys in the league have that mid-range shot in their bag now, and they need it.
And Chris Finch wants a timeout. He might have seen something and needs to review with his guys.
All right, Nuggets fans, you know what time it is. Raise up, rise up, make some noise for your Nuggets weekend. Okay, everybody, now it's your Nuggets breakers. Give them a hand.
And the call will be against Nikola Jokic. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
McDaniels up top. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. Here's the teardrop. Edwards so good inside.
You know, when you're a guard like Edwards, I think you need the teardrop in your arsenal. Too many great rim protectors in the NBA. That's a shot you need to have.
Gordon outside. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And offensive rebounding, one of Rudy Gobert's specialties, Grant.
Yeah, in some games, over half his points come from second chance opportunities. And you know, B.A., even when you block him out, he can reach right over you and get that board.
Now here's Murray. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Randall with a steal. It's an even 3-on-3 break. DiVincenzo can't hit. Nuggets trail by 12. Jokic passes to Brown. And stolen by Gobert. Outside McDaniels. Randall outside. Back to Daniels. Launches it. Cook it. And it's Randall with the assist. Randall's got 3 assists now in this one.
Attacking right away. McDaniels wasting no time there.
DiVincenzo against Murray. Pass to Gordon. Outside Johnson. Now Jokic. Back to Johnson. 5 on the clock. With the teardrop. McDaniels with some nice D.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome. Timberwolves ahead, up by 15. And when we return, we'll get the 4th quarter rolling here on 2K Sports.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
Thanks for joining us again for round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Reed sets a screen. For 3, Randall. The rebound by Murray. And so it's Murray who brings up the ball for Denver. 15-point game. Pass to Valanciunas. Back to Murray. Here's Watson. On target from range. Watson's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Highland will pass to Randall. Randall draws the double. Here's Highland. Off target from 3-point range.
And that's exactly how tightly you have to guard him every time he steps to the arc. He's just that good.
Now Valanciunas. Oh, nice setup for the slam.
And check out how in sync Valanciunas is with the ball handler. They've clearly practiced that move plenty of times.
Minnesota leading by 10. And Chris Finch has called timeout. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan.
Yeah, coach no doubt wants to use this timeout to review the matchups and maybe make some adjustments as well.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there's going to be a new wrinkle in their game plan when they come out of this timeout.
Hey, please give a big round of applause for your dancing.
And Denver will go for a different look here. Nikola Jokic is checked in for Valanciunas. Gordon comes in for Watson. Cam Johnson, he's checked in for Brown. And Brown subbed in for Hardaway. And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Gobert's checked in for Reed. Jaden McDaniels comes in for Clark. Anthony Edwards is checked in for DeSumo. And it's DiVincenzo in for Highland. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
I was able to listen in on what Chris Finch was going over with his team. He actually challenged his players. He said, quote, "We are in this one. We can see the finish line. How will we react?" I'm curious to see who steps up and takes it to the next level. Big challenge from coach.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. Gobert pulls it down. Minnesota leading by 12. Here is DiVincenzo. McDaniels outside. Misses the 3. DiVincenzo with the steal. Here's McDaniels. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession.
He clipped the ball there, but not enough to nab the steal.
Clearly a careless pass. He got away with one there.
Randall outside. A minute 50 left in the 4th quarter here. The triple drop.
And there's DiVincenzo with the quick trigger. And not give him any room defensively. You've got to eliminate his airspace.
Now here's Gordon. There's a screen by Johnson. From downtown. Gobert pulls it down. Minnesota has gone only 1 of 4 from the perimeter here in this 4th quarter. Here's DiVincenzo. Now Edwards. Oh, he goes to the glass with that one.
These guys really stepped up and played their hearts out to finish the series on their terms. So it's going to be on to the next round for the Timberwolves.
You can score without sharing the ball, but it can be a whole lot easier when guys are assisting one another.
Yeah, they were very patient. They were also unselfish, and ultimately, that's why they were so efficient.
And over the course of this series, the difference in talent level between these teams became clear.
Well, there was a difference in just about every aspect, not just talent. It was coaching, effort, intensity, just a dominating performance. And now they'll have some time to rest up and put everything in place for the next round.
And no question this was a team effort, but you have to love how big a night this was for Julius Randle.
He didn't miss out on much of the action tonight. He was magnetized to the ball and did everything he could to contribute for his team on both ends of the floor.
Now here's Jokic to end the run. Parked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call.
Substitution on the court.
Highland against Jones. And with that win, they'll be moving on to round 2. They really took control of this series in impressive fashion, and now they're on to the second round.
Hopefully this is some momentum they can continue to build upon. That energy will make them difficult to contend with.
And that about wraps it up from here, folks. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast of the NBA's Western Conference quarterfinals. For Clark Kellogg, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.